All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I have something really cool today. Now, as you guys know, today is May 31st. It's the pistol brace deadline. And I've been out of the loop for a couple weeks. Honestly, I've had some things go on. I've just kind of checked out and I don't really know what's going on. And I'm getting a lot of questions. So I'm going to go to the source, the man, the number one whistleblower, all the contacts, Mr. John Crump.
Hey,
What's
how
up, buddy?
are you doing? Smash time.
I'm doing well. For everyone that doesn't know you, I'll have a link to your channels down in the description. For everyone that doesn't know you, what's just a quick John Crump bio?
I am a investigative journalist, and I concentrate on 2A issues, gun rights issues, gun companies, anything that goes bang bang, I cover.
Yeah, sounds pretty good. And you're associated with GOA, who I am a proud member of. Shout
Yep,
out to GOA.
yep. I am. My title is Special Projects at GOA. I handle some of the behind the scenes stuff that we do.
All right, enough said.
Like
Enough said.
FOIAs, getting information, developing sources, stuff like that.
Okay, great. So now everyone that's tuning into this video, we have hours left before we're all felons.
I'm not. I'm also a member of Firearms Policy Coalition. So
I was getting to that. So a
in
little birdie
GOA,
told me if I join the
might be double protected.
FPC that I can kind of get a little stay in my
FPC, and it looks like also GOA. We can't say for sure, but the judge is supposed to come back with his decision today. And the only thing that the government said was GOA doesn't have a regular membership, which we do. And when GOA said, wait a minute, we do, the government said, oh, we didn't realize you did. And it would be unfair for us to try to look into it to make sure that you do. It's like, what?
Oh, that's ridiculous. So I heard that if you're a member of Firearms Policy Coalition and you donate by today, they can make your membership effective the whole last year.
I'm not sure if I like exactly what they are doing because they made a industry membership. I'm afraid that trying to expand the injunction and the courts might not look too favorably on that. I could be wrong. It just depends on how the court takes it. But we will see.
Yeah, well, I've been a member of GOA for about 2 years now, and Firearms Policy Coalition, I donated about $20 a year or two ago, but I don't remember. It was a while ago, and just today, I sent him another $30. So I'm another proud member of the FPC. And for everyone that you could never have enough 2A advocate groups. So join the GOA, join FPC.
Even SAF. I think SAF might have their injunction expanded soon. So join 2 groups, join 3 groups. I wouldn't put all my eggs in one basket, if that makes any sense.
100%. Besides joining FPC and GOA, what steps should we take? Should we just take our braces off and stick them in the attic, or what?
If GOA wins, you might be protected anyway, without even joining. Because you got to remember, GOA's co-plaintiff is Texas.
So if I'm in Texas, I'm covered.
Yeah. You might have 3 different ways of amnesty or whatever.
That's awesome.
3 different ways of having the ATF enjoined from enforcing the rule on you.
All right. So what is your advice for someone? Say you're waking up out of a coma. It's been a year. You got a bunch of pistol brace rifles in your safe. You wake up. It's May 31st. Like, oh, shit. What do I do? What's your advice?
My advice is you're going to have to look at your situation. I can't tell you exactly what to do, of course, but you have to look at your situation. Do you want to register with the ATF? Is that a yes or is that a no? If it's a yes, go ahead by all means and register. If it is a no, then you have to look at your options. One of your options is non-compliance, just not complying.
Right.
Another option you have is to join one of these organizations and get the protection of the injunction. That's another option that you have. But that's not to say that it might not be reversed in the future and then you have to register them anyway. Or maybe there will be a nationwide injunction and you wouldn't have to register. You have to make up your mind soon, because at midnight Eastern time, the rule's in effect.
It's weird times we live in. Weird times. So, just I don't know if you have these numbers off the top of your head, and I don't want to put you on the spot. So, how many, if you had to guess, or if you have hard data to back it up, how many pistol braces are out there in circulation in the United States? Ballpark.
The number that gets thrown around is 40 million, but that's not the case. I don't think that's the case. I think at the low end, it's probably like 4 million. At the top end is probably around 10 million. I do know that SP Tactical in the last 3 years sold 3 million braces, and
Right.
they're the largest. So 4 million is probably really, really conservative. It's probably closer to 10. But I
Now,
mean, that's just ballpark, but no one's really, really sure. The ATF is going to say there's only 4 million, which is very low. And then other groups are going to say there's 40 million, which is very high. The truth is probably somewhere in between those numbers, but I would venture to guess probably right around 10 million, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less.
nice. And do you have any inclination on how many people have actually registered so far?
I'm hearing 200,000.
200,000 out of, let's just say 6 million. That seems like a pretty fair number. 6 million, 200,000. That's not a lot, man.
No.
So how does this play out in courts, you feel, in the next couple of days? Like, because honestly, I've been really out of the loop. And I'm already a member of GOA. I joined FPC today. I'm in Texas. So I think I'm pretty covered for a little bit. If you're a betting man and you're going to put money on if this thing is going to get tossed out eventually within like the next 6 months to a year, do you think it's like a 50-50 shot, 80-20?
No, I think it's more than that. To get a preliminary injunction, you have to prove a few different things. One is that you're likely to secede on the merits. That's the biggest thing right there, that you're likely to secede on the merits. And the circuit court is the one that said that the plaintiffs are likely to secede on the merits. So unless the Supreme Court overturns the fifth, I think it is more than likely to get an injunction on there. There is a couple cases in a couple different circuits. The sixth, for example, I think that will still go our way. The 11th, I don't know why anybody would file in the 11th, but there's a case in the 11th, which is the circuit that said that the founding era was 1868, the ratification date of the 14th Amendment. But hopefully, if this nationwide injunction goes through, the lawyers on that case will drop it, because it is better if we stay the victories where we can get them at, which is like the fifth and the frat case in the sixth. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong about the 11th. Maybe the 11th will go fine. I just don't like it.
I have a lot of people calling me freaking out. I'm like, man, I don't know.
Yeah, well, we should find out in the next couple of hours here.
All right, so join FPC, join GOA. No matter what, you guys should be members of the GOA and FPC. I always want to call it
GOA, Second Amendment Foundation. They're all really good organizations. I mean, I work for GOA, so I'm kind of partial to GOA and biased for GOA. I will put my bias right up there. But all three organizations is good. I know Alan Gottlieb, he is a good guy. I've talked to Brandon Combs, who runs FPC. He is a good guy. And then you have John Blecko and Eric Pratt and Tim Macy and Sam over at GOA. And they're really good guys. Those are the three national organizations that I would join. Of course, I'm partial to the GOA, but those are the three organizations that are pitting in the work.
Right. Well, let me ask you another question, because I have a lot of people that are like, I'll never join NRA or anything like that. What is going to keep the GOA from turning into the NRA 10 years down the line? Is there any safeguards in place? I mean, how is the transparency internally at GOA?
The transparency in GOA is freaking fantastic. One of the reasons why I don't see it going the way of the NRA is that I work with the guys at GOA. I know all of them, and they're all gun guys. Every single one of them is dedicated to the Second Amendment. There's no Democrat lobbyists that turn executive vice presidents at GOA. The executive vice president is John Blecko, who shoots regularly, and I shot with him. He's a gun guy. Then you have Eric Pratt, and you're not going to see Eric Pratt flying around in a private jet. I'll give you an example. This is one of the stories that I can tell you is that Eric Pratt was supposed to do an event in Florida. He looked, he was like, man, these plane tickets are really expensive. He's like, then he did the math and figured that it would be cheaper for him to drive his minivan, because he doesn't drive like fancy cars, his minivan from Virginia down to Florida to save money for GOA and save money for the memberships. And I think you've talked to Flying Rich, and Flying Rich's favorite story is when we were at the IV 8888 shoot a couple years ago. He's like, hey man, can I crash in your room? Because I was down there with GOA. And I was like, I'm rooming with Jordan Stein. He's like, GOA put you two to a room? I was like, yep.
Oh man. Because
I mean, that's how we save money. We're very frugal with our money. We spend money, but we spend it where it matters. We spend it where we can get the most bang for the buck, which is lawsuits and lobbying. You're not going to see any type of GOA TV or anything like that. We don't even have people are like, oh, are you going to have a magazine one day? I'm like, no. I don't think the return on investment is there for that. You're not going to get like a pocket knife or anything like that.
That NRA leather jacket does look pretty sweet, though. The bomber jacket, it looks pretty nice.
Dude, I got a lifetime membership to GOA, and I just get a card every year.
It's a nice card. Hey, let me ask you a question before we go, as I know you're busy. Today's a big day for you. You're probably pulled in lots of different directions. Congressionally, who should we be looking to vote out? Who has disappointed you the most, and who has surprised you with support? Because this pistol brace thing, I think a lot of these congressmen think it's like a bump stock where it's not a big deal. Not a lot of people are involved, but it's going to affect millions of people. So is there any heroes and losers?
There's 188 co-sponsors to the resolution to use the Congressional Review Act to throw the rule aside. Of course, Biden would veto that, but there is 188 co-sponsors. It's the Republican leadership that is causing the issues. It's Mitch McConnell, which I was on a plane with, and Lindsey Graham. I was on a plane with Lindsey Graham, and I lectured him the whole entire time on the plane.
Lindsey Graham dysty.
Yeah, he was like in front of me. Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell is another guy. It's the leadership. Well, you have people down in your area, John Cornyn.
Oh my God.
Go. Brian Fitzpatrick. He needs to go. He's actually for an assault weapons ban, a so-called assault weapons ban. So Brian Fitzpatrick in Pennsylvania. You have John Cornyn, Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell, all like the entrenched rhinos.
Yeah.
They need to go.
Yeah, John Cornyn, I don't like him. I don't vote for him. He's not in my district, but man, he wins by a lot.
Yeah.
Every time. He crushes it, but I don't know. It's who you know.
Oh, we're gonna be going after him hardcore.
Good.
And wholesale, every freaking Democrat in Congress needs to go.
Amen to that.
I've never seen a group so dedicated to trampling on someone's rights than the Democrats that are in Congress.
Yeah, and it's funny. I hear this from a lot of people. It's like, well, I can be a Democrat and pro-gun. And I'm like, really? I don't know.
I mean, I'm a single issue voter, and my single issue is liberty. And I just don't get that with the Democrats, man.
Yeah, leave me alone. You know, I'm a
Free
refugee
speech.
from California, and every time I go back, I'm reminded just how much I can't stand that state and what it stands for. And I come back to Texas, and besides, you know, we got the couple John Cornyn's here and there. Texas is a great state, man. I love it here. It's fantastic. Join GOA, move to Texas, love liberty. John, do you want to leave everybody with any expiring words?
Yes. If you go to fpschampionship.com, we're doing a Call of Duty tournament, a Warzone tournament on July 15th. You can go ahead and sign up. Right now, we have about $300 cash prize for the top trio. That will probably go up as we get closer. And this is the first announcement of the $300 prize.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, John. I know you're super busy today. I appreciate every single one of you guys. And that's it.
All right. Thank you for having me on, man. It's always a pleasure talking to my favorite musician.
Oh, here we go.
The Shrek song, what is it? All-Star? Hey, man, you're an all-star. Go ahead.
John, thanks, brother.